When I first saw this report about Mahershala Ali no longer getting his own Blade movie, and Kevin Feige first announced the Blade character back in 2019. So this is year 7, and he still has not gotten his own movie. And to me, that's disappointing because the last time we saw an adaptation of Blade was Wesley Snipes. I really enjoyed the first 2 movies. Blade Trinity was like, okay, it was all right. But the last time we saw him as a character was back in the late 90s in 2004. That was the last movie they made for Wesley Snipes' universe in Blade. And it had you excited because we haven't seen Blade on the big screen a long time. And you were looking forward to a story about a Blade movie. I mean, this guy goes out there and hunts vampires, kills them, and saves the day. I don't think it's really hard to make a movie about Blade and entertain the fans. But to spend this much time not developing this character and not having any type of content is just disappointing in my opinion. Because you could have had a movie back in 2022. Yeah, you announced them in 2019. You take 3 years to produce the movie, write the movie, and then you can make a second one for 25 or 26. And now we got a Blade universe with him hunting vampires. And that's interesting to fans. But no, they have messed around. They haven't really done anything with this character. And it feels like it's been a big waste of time. So let's get right into what this article has to say about Blade being canceled. So, the Mahershala Blade is claimed to be dead, at least as a solo movie. That's the latest from industry insider Jeff Snyder, who reports that Marvel Studios has scrapped plans for a standalone Blade film and will now introduce the character as a part of a team up movie instead. My biggest issue is he's not going to get enough shine. If you make his own movie, we get to see Blade develop as a character. We can get a background story, but now he's just part of a team up when it's like he deserves more love, in my opinion. He deserves his own universe and have the opportunity to go out and just be Blade, be somebody dope and cool. But no, it's just another example of Kevin Feige. Ever since we moved on from Endgame, it's just been a bunch of slop from Marvel. Not all of it's been slop, but some of it's just been disappointing, to say the least. He will not be introduced in a solo movie, Snyder said on the hot mic. He'll be introduced in Midnight Suns. This marks yet another twist in the long and troubled development of Blade, which was first announced nearly 7 years ago at San Diego Comic Con 2019. I don't understand why they can never come up with a really good script for Blade. Maybe there was something going on behind the scenes we don't know about, but it's really not that hard to make a Blade movie, in my personal opinion. Despite having Oscar winner Mahershala Ali attached since day one, the project has faced constant setbacks, from losing directors to scrapped scripts and major creative overhauls. While Marvel hasn't confirmed anything, this new rumor tracks with recent developments. Last summer, Variety reported Marvel had no sense of urgency around Blade, just absolutely ridiculous. And recently, Mia Goth, rumored to play Lilith, confirmed the movie reached costume fitting and chemistry testing stages only to fall apart. Kevin Feige himself recently admitted that he went through at least 4 versions of the film, including 2 set in the past. One of those reportedly focused on Blade's daughter, sidelining Mahershala Ali. If that's true, then fans would have been really mad about that because it's supposed to be focused on Blade. When you make a movie about a vampire hunter, the fans are going to think about Blade, not his daughter first. Not saying she can't have a role, but if it's more important than his role, it's like, all right, this is it's like the whole situation with Black Panther. Just recast him already. I want to see Black Panther, T'Challa, take his throne. Look, I get his sister is doing her thing, but man, can we get a recast of Black Panther? Because that movie was just peak for me when it comes to Marvel. It was an incredible movie. I enjoyed the film. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies out there, but they don't want to recast it. And it's just getting old. Now, there are reports that they're going to, but let's just cut to the chase, in my opinion. That version was scrapped and some of its costumes were repurposed for Ryan Coogler's Sinners. Midnight Suns is Marvel's darker, supernatural team, typically made up of Blade, Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, and others. And that's cool. Marvel has already introduced characters like Moon Knight and Werewolf by Night, so the path is set for potential crossover. And that could be pretty dope, but again, I just want to see him get his own film. The move to shift Blade into a team setting may be Marvel's attempt to salvage what's left of the project while also streamlining its slate amid superhero fatigue and a company-wide reset. It's worth mentioning about the fatigue going on with superhero films. There's a lot of apathy, not just with Marvel, but with DC, because fans have gotten so much content over the last 2 decades. And you have streaming, you have woke stuff. It's a combination of different things going on. And I don't think this was needed, though, in my opinion. I think you could have had some success with a Blade universe. It's like with Tom Holland's Spider-Mans. They've stuck to Spider-Man. Obviously, he's a bigger character, but they've stayed the course with making Tom Holland's films, and now we're going to see the fourth one. I think you could have done the same thing with Blade, in my opinion. Worth a mention, if Blade and or Midnight Suns ever does happen, it's going to happen after release of Secret Wars in 2027. So now we got to wait over what, maybe 2 years before we even get some type of Blade project. I mean, come on, guys. So it's basically a decade after Mahershala Ali and Kevin Feige first announced a project. It makes you wonder, are they ever going to make something for him? Because if I'm Ali, I'd be furious right now. I came and signed on back in 2019, and you can't make a film at all. You can't make a TV show for Blade. I just don't understand this whole idea of having a character and you've done nothing with him. You've had different scripts apparently that have failed, and Blade is a cool character. Like, he's really dope. I liked him in the Spider-Man animated series. I like the version from Wesley Snipes. Just make a Blade movie. I think it could do really well, in my opinion. But it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts on Blade potentially being canceled. And do you think it's a good idea to just focus on the Midnight Suns, or would you like to see a Blade movie? Love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.